In case you missed it, Warframe now supports crossplay, or what they're calling cross-platform play, which means that you, on one platform, say PC, can play with people on another platform, say Nintendo Switch, or PlayStation, or Xbox. When you are in a party, it will show your icon for your specific console. So for example, me playing on PC, I get the little Windows icon, even though, it runs on other operating systems. And then it'll show a little swirly icon for everyone else. And I have been encountering a lot of these players from various consoles in my missions and alerts and things like that, and haven't had any real issues. And reading the thing, you can also squad up for the dojo and for relays. This video is brought to you by CuriosityStream. Get access to my own streaming site, Nebula, when you sign up for CuriosityStream, bundled below. This is the first step to cross progression. The difference between crossplay and cross progression is crossplay just allows you to party up with or play against people from other platforms, whereas cross progression allows you to continue your play and your progress on the other platforms. So as it stands currently, if you log into Warframe on, say, the Nintendo Switch, you're basically starting over and if you started on PC or PlayStation, you're starting over on the new platform, and that's not a good time, but we are getting our first step towards this, and I am freaking excited. Now, it took a really long time. This game has been out a really long time, and it's baffling to me that any game doesn't just ship with crossplay and cross progression in 2023. But it is a great way to start the new year, and I think if anything, it makes it a wonderful time for new people to get into the game as we start this new year here. I am so stoked for where the game is at. I know there's been some complaints about some updates. I know, at least half of the dev team is now working on their new game, but they are continuing to release new content and make changes for base Warframe, which is incredibly exciting as there is a ton to do. I know the game is kind of intimidating, and I do think I might look into making some sort of relatively easy beginner's guide just to get people over that initial intimidation hurdle when it comes to getting into the game, because I know that turns off a lot of people, and every time I talk about it, people talk about how they just are so intimidated every time they try to play, because the game is just so glorious. Once you get some good Warframes, which you can do through linking your Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime stuff, you can get free Prime stuff every few months. If you tune into the dev streams and you have Twitch logged in, you can get Twitch drops to get free in-game items. They are always running discounts on the Platinum. You can get thousands of hours out of this game as a free player and have a blast, which I don't feel like a lot of games do these days. I feel like this is one of the kind of quote-unquote perfect free games that does things that most games don't do these days, and that is something worth celebrating, especially with how addicting the gameplay is. You get your melee mods upgraded where you can just do crazy stuff with your melee weapons, or you get some good guns that really mesh with the abilities and characteristics of the specific Warframe you're using, and it is really hard to put down. I've been putting a lot of hours in on the last couple days of 2022 here after the Steam replay thing, and after the first couple days of the year here, and I think Warframe, I'm gonna return to it as my big kind of investment / obsession game for the year, at least for the first few months here. Getting back into it, I've put a ton of hours into it already, but there is a lot left to complete, and there are a lot of times, even for me as an experienced, I'm not a veteran, I haven't done everything, at a certain point in time, but as someone with a lot of experience with the game, there are times when I log in and a whole bunch has changed, and I feel overwhelmed and don't feel like I have any, aim or direction with what to do. And playing the past week or two, I am starting to feel that direction, I'm starting to find it. I'm taking notes of things that I want to build up blueprints for, and of course getting distracted along the way because there's a million things to do, but I can just mindlessly log in when, I can't stay focused or guarantee that I'll be able to play for a long time, and do some relic runs or some alerts, and then I can make progress towards collecting specific materials for blueprints and things like that. And for someone like me who has, a lot of things going on, who can't just sit down for hours and hours and hours and really focus on a game, it's a really great game to still feel like I'm making worthwhile progress over time, but also be able to hop in and out really quickly at a moment's notice without sacrificing a ton of stuff. I might wipe a mission that I was working on, but compared to a lot of story games or a lot of bigger online games, you can sometimes end up just feeling like you've just wiped, hours worth of progress. And I don't want that with what I'm trying to do right now. And I think Warframe solves that. So I'm curious to hear your all's thoughts on crossplay, if you've messed with it yet, or, if you're waiting for cross progression, or just your thoughts on playing Warframe in 2023? Have you picked it up recently? Did you do any of the Tinobomb events for the holiday? Did you, anything like that? Let me know your thoughts, because I think it's a game that looks a little more simple from the outset whenever you're looking at the really basic stuff. But once you get into it, it is just mind-boggling. And there's so much stuff that I haven't even unlocked myself. So I'm so stoked to continue the journey. And I mean, I've built awesome stuff recently. Like I've taken, I think it was Atlas, where I made this just bloody looking cave monster that just destroyed people. And then I took Zephyr Prime, I think, and turned it into this amazing Gundam, which flew all over the place and dropped bombs on people, and combined that with a secondary weapon, which also had homing missiles. And I was just like the ultimate Gundam. There's so much potential for that kind of like choose your own style of gameplay stuff here that just is really hard to put down. So I'm really stoked for Warframe in 2023, and I hope many more of you join me on this adventure. Honestly, I have put way too many hours into Warframe that it started to build a backlog of the other videos I wanted to edit for this channel, but I do have some up already, released early on my own video streaming site, Nebula. My videos are ad-free and early there, and I post a lot of exclusive stuff, like my documentary series print screen I made for my main Epos Fox channel. Normally we charge $50 per year for Nebula, but we've worked out a just truly awesome bundle with CuriosityStream, another great streaming service full of thousands of entertaining titles and documentaries to keep your mind stimulated for learning, where if you sign up at curiositystream.com/lostsaves, you get access to their catalog for just $14.79 per year. After you sign up, a little email will show up in your inbox inviting you to Nebula for free for the duration of your subscription to CuriosityStream. So that's 2 sites for the price of 1. While you're browsing CuriosityStream, check out 2077, 10 Seconds into the Future, to ponder what the future will look like and whether all the AI tools I keep talking about will fully replace humans, and maybe we'll start looking like the frames in Warframe here. Again, that's curiositystream.com/lostsaves for the best deal in streaming. If you've been playing it, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, you need to check out this video, or even this playlist, showing why I've finally picked Halo Infinite back up after a year after launch, and I think it's in a really good place too. Remember to be kind, rewind.